Let's get ready to rumble.
Yes, we're back to episode 141 of the Hibs Rumble. It's me, your host, as always, back with a bang. We've been away for a wee while, but we are back this week to talk about an incredible performance by Hibs at the weekend. It's Liam, of course, your host, and I'm joined by the fabulous, the gorgeous Mr. Shaun Corrigan. Shaun, how the devil are you, my friend? It's been a while.
I'm all the better for being back in your company.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you. It really is. Where have we been?
It's been a tough couple of weeks. It's been a busy couple of weeks, but we're back. We're here. And that's all that matters.
Yep. So I feel like to you, the Ramblers, we owe you a little bit of an explanation. We decided not to pod because we got beat by Hearts. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, me, the gaffer, I was on holiday over a couple of weeks. So the wee guys weren't able to get anything sorted out, to get anything out, which is a shame. As we had a derby and stuff, but I mean, the less said about that, the better. But yeah, we're back now. I'm back. I'm sunned up. I'm rested, recovered, and I'm ready to go again. It has been a while, Shaun. Are you excited to be back recording, talking about a Hibs victory?
Yeah, I'm only ever happy to be here when Hibs are doing well. So I'm delighted to be here today.
And delighted that you didn't have to talk about a 91st minute winner by Craig Halkett in the derby.
Didn't happen.
I feel like it would be daft of us not to just touch on it a little bit, because obviously it was a tough one to take. 91st minute winner. Just to kind of gloss over it really quickly, I didn't think there was an awful lot in the game. I didn't think it was a really good advert for Scottish football. I think both Hibs and Hearts have played a lot better in games this season. And to be honest, I think it probably could have gone either way. Come the end of the game, obviously Martin Boyle hits the bar, he scores a goal that's offside, and Hearts take their big chance at the end. A tough one to take, but was it for you? Was it as demoralising, or was it more just annoying?
It just reminded me of, I know we've conceded loads of late goals this season, but it just reminded me of Hibs teams of the past. It just reminded me of many derby games gone by where, listen, the game itself wasn't great. I even made sure I was down the front, Leon, as you know, which is normally a good luck charm for the boys in green, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. It wasn't a good watch. However, for me it was inevitable. I don't think Martin Boyle was overly great, but still we managed to carve out 2-3, if you include the offside one, chances out of nothing. My frustration lies with the fact that Kieran Bowie looked like he was towing a caravan, and had been for a good couple of games before that. And for me, David Gray's reluctance to freshen it up and change it up earlier, and try and take the game in our favour is what frustrated me. Whereas Derek McInnes, on the other hand, was constantly making positive changes to try and influence the match, and it just felt like one manager wanted to win it and the other one didn't want to lose. And that is normally the case between Hibs and Hearts in a derby, especially at Tynecastle, and it isn't normally Hibs that are trying not to lose. So for them to then go and score as late as they did, I wasn't surprised, considering derby history as well as how they've been this season versus how we've been. Now, they've not been overly great. The best performance probably coming at Ibrox, in my opinion, but they've found a way, and they found a way in the derby as well. And yeah, again, let it slip.
Kind of shades of Jack Ross Hibs not being great, but finding a way to win and getting the points on the board. And, I mean, listen, if you're a Hearts fan, you're probably buzzing at the moment because what's that, 5 points clear at the top of the table? Just watch Celtic get beat at Dens, and you got Celtic at the weekend. So It'd certainly be an exciting time to be at the top of the 5 points clear at the top of the league at the moment. But we're not here to talk about Hearts. We're here to talk about Hibs. And we had a pumping at the weekend, shock pumping Livingston at home. Here just to make up the numbers, that lot, I think, Shaun.
First of all, are we allowed to talk about Livingston?
To be fair, I actually don't think so. I don't think we are allowed.
I mean, I reached out to wee Davey, but he's not got back to me yet, so I don't know if we're allowed to discuss anything relating to Livingston Football Club. I know on a podcasting point of view, but you know how David feels about those damn podcasters. So I don't know if we should really be mentioning them, and we probably shouldn't, considering how little and minuscule they are.
I do wonder though if he started to listen to podcasters a little bit more, whether his teams would go out to places like Easter Road and not just roll over and let teams pump them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's a direct correlation, if that's how it works, Shaun.
I mean, if he listened to football podcasts, then he'd probably have shiter patter than what he already has.
If he listens to us, he would definitely get beat every week.
Aye, correct. That's really a good thing.
But no, David, if you're listening, a big hug and a kiss. We love you, really, kind of. So, Livingston at home, Shaun, it was a real good chance for us after the international break to... Obviously, we had a bit of a reset. Scotland played really well. Kieran Bowie got some minutes. Grant Hanley played really well over the couple of games. And it was a real good opportunity for us to kind of say, well, we've had a break. It's now time for us to kickstart our season. And I feel like, with all due respect to Livingston, it was a real good time to play them. Because Livingston aren't a good side. They're not. But you can only beat what's in front of you on the day. And we did thoroughly and convincingly. Obviously, we made a few changes to the lineup. Thibaut Clige comes in. That's probably the most notable one. Thibaut Clige comes in from the start. You've got Barlasser coming in. I think he replaced... Did he replace Campbell from the Derby? Yeah. So there was a couple of changes. Obviously, Thibaut Clige was the most notable. We've kind of been peddling it for a long time that Thibaut Clige probably deserves to start. Were you chuffed to see him in that 11?
For me, he definitely deserved a chance. Like, listen, at the start of the season in the European games, Boyle and Bowie were doing really, really well. Their link-up was really good. The way that we were playing was really good. But at times you could see that, again, similar to what I said about David Gray at the Derby, his reluctance to change it because he knows what those two players are capable of. So for me, and I can understand it as a manager, it's not that you don't have full faith in the players that you have on the bench. It's maybe more about the players you know that are on the pitch can maybe make something out of nothing, and that's probably where David Gray's reluctance to maybe freshen it up and change it up has came from in some games. So for Clige to start, I thought was really, really good. I wasn't surprised that he then got on the score sheet. He does look really, really good. I think the fact that Martin Boyle's probably been in about 6 different time zones in 4 different countries over the international break has probably made David Gray's decision a wee bit easier.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Martin Boyle as well, and if he was 100%, he probably would have played. There's loads of people champing at Martin Boyle to be an impact player now, but you've seen at different stages and different games throughout the season already that whether it's in the first half or the second half, Martin Boyle can maybe just come up with something, whether it's a Nicky Cadden ball in behind or someone else playing a ball in behind. Mm-hmm. We have that, and we know what we're going to get with Martin Boyle, and we maybe don't, as fans, quite know what we're going to get with Clige, whether we can get the same level of performance, and hopefully we can. David Gray is obviously the best person to know that, so it was good to see him start, and obviously, hopefully, he actually gets a good couple of run of games now.
Yeah, well, I have seen an awful lot of that talk about Martin Boyle being like, oh, he's now only good enough to be an impact sub, but we had all this chat last season that, oh, Martin Boyle's done, Martin Boyle's finished, and he ends the season with 20 goals. So, you know, I'm reluctant to kind of, well, I take an awful lot of things that I see online with a massive pinch of salt, but I don't think that Martin Boyle is now an impact player, an impact sub, to be perfectly honest with you. I think you're bang on, to be honest, what you say in terms of David Gray knows that what, and us as fans know what Martin Boyle and Kieran Bowie can give you. I mean, especially Martin Boyle, we've watched them for the last 10 years at the club. We know what he's capable of. We know that he's able to light up games in brief moments. So I feel like it's always kind of like, I think it like this, and I think, is it better to have players on the pitch that you know can score goals even if they're not playing well, or bring on unknown entities? Basically, I think that's a decision that you need to weigh up, and I think that you need to switch it up every now and then. I do think that David Gray's task has been made a lot more difficult by the fact that we never got Lyndon Dykes in, or someone similar. I feel like his challenge about rotating and being able to trust boys that are playing up top, he's now only really got 3 that he can trust to play up there, which I don't think is ideal when he's playing 2 every week. But yeah, I don't really know what my point is here, but I'm kind of echoing what you said in terms of, you know, what these players can give you, even if they are playing poorly. Is it not better to have a player like that on the pitch and being able to influence the game rather than sitting on the bench?
I think what will work in our favour now is whether it's Cleege or any of the other players that maybe haven't got as many minutes, because our performances as a team maybe haven't been there in recent weeks. Those players will be sitting on the bench with a wee bit of fire in their belly, ready to kind of prove, whether you prove David Gray right or wrong, whatever way you want to look at it. So you've seen that in the Livingston away game, where Cleege has a really, really good performance, gets his goal, same again at the weekend as well. And then you've got, like, I know it's easy to say because he's a seasoned pro, but you've got Grant Hanley. You know, in the games that he's played in recent weeks, he's looked very strong and probably one of our strongest performers, which is unsurprising to say considering his age and his experience. But
should have scored as well.
You don't, regardless of whether you're, unless you're like a backup or third choice goalkeeper, every player wants to be on the pitch and wants to be playing. And when you're not, especially when teams maybe have just lost or their performance hasn't been that great, you're going to be champing at the bit to get on, and that's what I kind of feel like we're going to see with Cleege in the coming weeks. And I think that if he does get unleashed for a longer period of time, I think it could only work in our favour, because he'll be starting, champing at the bit, working his absolute balls off to try and either influence the game in a positive way or get a goal or whatever. And then if he doesn't, you've got somebody like Martin Boyle or even Kieran Bowie or something like that coming off the bench, or if I was going to say worst case scenario, you've got Ellie Yuan as well, but you don't really know what you're going to get there at times. But again, the quality is still there, whether he's applying it or not. Players still want to play.
Yeah,
and I think that'll work in our favour.
No, for sure, and I think that Thibaut Cleege kind of showed that in abundance on Saturday. Probably could have had a hat trick in the first half. He was really putting himself about, took his goal really, really well. A beautiful kind of turn to get away from a couple of Livingston defenders after a nice ball through from Dan Barlasser, and he makes absolutely no mistake from a tight angle. Keeper maybe could do a little bit better, but it's a real good finish. He took it really, really well. He looked so sharp, always ready and willing to get in behind. There's a couple of moments where I think he made the wrong decision. Clean through on goal, or maybe had maybe not clean through on goal, but like kind of in that final third where he had the chance to shoot or pass and maybe made the wrong decision. I think that there's a little bit of, I don't think he's fully match fit. Clearly not, because he's not been playing an awful lot. But I felt like he did look sharp. But with the amount of minutes that he's going to get, hopefully over the coming weeks, those kind of more clinical moments will become more clinical, and he'll get even more goals, because I do think that we could have been well out of sight by half time on Saturday. Not that I think we were in any danger at any point in the game, but if Thibaut Cleege had have maybe been playing the amount of minutes that Martin Boyle has from the start of the season, we could be 3 up, 4 up at half time, and we could be looking into the second half and bringing the kids on and bringing the fans on from the stands, because the game would have been won. But he really, really impressed me, and I think now that looking forward, Shaun, he's going to be someone who Martin Boyle's going to need to then get him out of that space, because I think Thibaut Coolidge is now, for the moment, nailed that space down.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It will be interesting to see, because obviously Martin Boyle traditionally performs well against Aberdeen, and has a wee bit of not something to prove, but just likes playing against them. So it'll be quite interesting to see the lineup that David Gray goes for in our next match as well. I did like that he kind of freshened it up in the middle. I wasn't surprised that Josh Campbell played in the derby. He's a very derby player in regards to what he gives you.
Mark would say very busy player.
Yeah, a busy
thrives
player.
in the hecticness.
Correct. Whether people agree or disagree with that there's a reason why 5 or 6 managers have picked him for those types of fixtures, for what his athleticism gives you. But I did think that it was the right opportunity to change the midfield again at the weekend, and lo and behold, that's a good midfield 3. I think it's a strong midfield 3, and then obviously you've still got players on the bench like Dylan Levitt. And
I'd be looking at getting Chaiwa in over Barlasser, to be honest. I think Barlasser is good. I think he's all right. I don't think that he deserves to be in there ahead of Miguel Chaiwa, to be perfectly honest with you. I think that a midfield 3, Mulligan, Chaiwa and McGrath, is our best 3. I can understand at times where Barlasser would probably be more suited to the games, because I feel like Mulligan and Chaiwa are both fairly not headless chicken sort of players, but they'll put themselves about and they'll be everywhere. Whereas I think Dan Barlasser is maybe a little bit more kind of disciplined in his positioning and is able to hold his position a little bit better than the other two. But I feel like for a game against Livingston on Saturday, where we were hoping and expecting to kind of put them to the sword, I would have expected Miguel Chaiwa to start in there ahead of Barlasser, because I feel like Mulligan, Chaiwa and McGrath gives us a lot of really good, encouraging attacking options. And I think Chaiwa's the best bit about him. I think he's a jack of all trades. He gets stuck in at the back and he gets himself into good positions going forward as well.
Yep.
So I would be looking for Saturday to be having that midfield 3, Mulligan, Chaiwa and McGrath. Not that Barlasser's done anything to deserve getting dropped, but I just prefer that 3 or a midfield with Miguel Chaiwa in it.
Yeah, well, you're speaking to the founder of the Chaiwa Hib supporters group, so anything that gets him back in. I think he's obviously been struggling in recent weeks, obviously had an injury in that as well. So, listen, the energy that he brings and the way that he's able to kind of control a midfield and control the tempo of a game when he's on the park, I think it's only right for him to be on. I can kind of understand not having Barlasser in and maybe having him in like, if we didn't have McGrath playing, right, but McGrath's in a good training form, so I can understand why he would start. You could have Barlasser, Chaiwa and Mulligan in the midfield as a 3, and that would give us the discipline and the shape, but the explosiveness of the other 2 going forward as well. So it will be quite interesting to see what he goes with, and I think at the minute we're in a good position with the quality of the players that we have. We just need to make sure that they're performing to the best of their ability.
Mm-hmm. No, I completely agree with you. I completely agree. It sounds like I'm bashing Dan Barlasser here, but I do think he gives you a lot, and he's going to give you a lot in the games where we're maybe up against it a little bit. I think he probably would have fitted in perfectly if he was in when we were playing against Midtjylland and Legia Warsaw and Partizan Belgrade. I feel like those games would have suited him a lot better than games where we're going to have an awful lot of the ball. And obviously he did unlock the Livingston defence for Thibaut Coolidge's goal. But yeah, I just much prefer Miguel Chaiwan there. Thibaut Klidja again, obviously, second half, making a nuisance of himself again, earns a penalty, which McGrath puts away. I don't think he's ever missed a penalty in his life, and I don't think he ever will, Shaun. Jamie McGrath, just to touch on it very quickly about him, I feel like you look at all the signings that we've made, and the best value, I think, is definitely been Jamie McGrath. He's given so much. I think when he got announced in January that we'd got him on a pre, I was thinking, oh, he's just going to be in here like rotation. He's coming towards, his late 20s. How important a player is he actually going to be? But I think David Gray sees him as a very, very important player, and he's really cementing his starting place in that lineup.
Yeah, I know. I completely agree. Just feel like that's all we're doing is just completely agreeing with each other. For once.
It's been too long since we've done a pod, so I think we need to be nice to each other.
Talking absolutely nonsense, Liam. I completely disagree.
Go on then. Tell me why Jamie McGrath should be on the bench.
I don't want to give the listeners radio silence because I should be starting. I think it's annoying because I actually thought he would have been better suited for the derby, and I think when he came on, he should have came on earlier. But a player of that ability should be starting, and I think if we can find a way of getting him, Mulligan, and Chaiwa as a 3, which I think that is the 3 for me, and none of this Mulligan at right wing back nonsense, then I think we'll be in a good place. And what I also feel is that having him start against Aberdeen is a very, very good opportunity just to give him an extra bit add an extra bit of spice to the game and give him an extra bit of fire in the belly as well for what will be a very tough fixture. Listen, it was all fine and well when he won the Scottish Cup with them and he's singing Hibs are falling apart in the celebrations, but Aberdeen have been falling apart again this season. So hopefully he can put them to the sword.
Well, fingers crossed. I mean, you talk about their Mulligan being pushed out to right wing back and how we don't really want to see that there. Chris Cadden, I thought, was excellent on Saturday. Had a little bit of a tough start to the season, I think, Cads, but had a really, really good game on Saturday, and it kind of came to a head with 2 fantastic assists for Junior Hoylett. But hopefully now Chris Cadden is getting back to his brilliant best, because I feel like for the majority of this season he's probably been one of the weaker links in the team. With not that he's a bad player. I really, really like Chris Cadden, and I think a lot of people were then starting to doubt him in terms of, is he still good enough to be playing for Hibs at the level that we are wanting to push for? And I think on Saturday he more than proved that he definitely is. A fantastic cross in for Junior Hoylett's first goal, and then some real good composure to find Junior Hoylett in the box. Yeah, well, we're already 3-0 up, but it's still a good pass and a good pick out from Chris Cadden to get it to Junior Hoylett for the 4th goal. Chris Cadden, for you, Shaun, is that someone who is in a bit of a problematic position, or do you feel like he's someone who is kind of? I'm not too sure. What's your thoughts on him?
My thoughts are that he is a good player for this squad, and he's a good player for this level. He'll never set the header alight, and there are lots of aspects of his game that he could probably still look to improve on. I.e., he's crossing.
Well, he's crossed for.
Yeah,
funnily enough.
I know. I just don't feel like it's consistent enough. His defensive position at times, he leaves himself exposed, and I don't know if that's because when he does play, he plays for a long period of time for 90 minutes, so he gets a lot of game time. So then naturally, as he's coming towards the end of these games, there's a little bit more tiredness in the legs, and that's why it was good when we had Lewis Miller and him, where if one was playing, another one was resting, and vice versa, or when we had the three at the back, they were able to kind of intertwine and swap positions. He's in a tough position because he can be left exposed quite easily, quite a lot. So therefore, he's then getting a lot of criticism. It's wing back is arguably the toughest position on a pitch, and you need to have an engine to be able to do it, and he definitely does. But you need to also have the consistency of your ability throughout that 90 minutes, even when you are getting tired, and I don't think at times he has that, unfortunately. And I think it's maybe a bit of subconsciously from him knowing that he's not really going to get challenged. Yes, we can put Mulligan at right wing back. Yes, we could maybe put Mego in, but neither of those two are going to be fighting for that right wing jersey.
Yeah, and I don't think that for a prolonged period, anyway, that either of those are the solution, to be honest with you. And I feel like, yeah, maybe subconsciously that's in the back of his mind. I don't think for a minute that he thinks, oh, I can basically do what I want here because who else are they going to play? But I do think he's struggled at the start of this season. Yes, you can say, oh, it's only against Livingston. He didn't really have an awful lot to do defensively. But my feeling is that not just for Chris Cadden, but for the whole team, it was a real good chance for us to build confidence out of this game. You know, giving someone an absolute doing helps everybody. It gives everyone a bit more confidence, a bit of a spring in our step. And I think, Shaun, it's something that we're going to need going into the weekend's game. Obviously, you touched on there, we're going up to Aberdeen, who look like maybe they're starting to click a little bit. 6 points from their last six. From their last two games. Sorry, not 6 points from the last six games.
Available.
Yeah, from the last six available. Obviously, 2 wins on the bounce. You know, a hammer and a Dundee, which, in hindsight, looks like a real good result. Now that they went on to beat Celtic 2-0, and then a last-minute winner against St Mirren at the weekend. There, I don't know if you saw the goal, but it was an absolute cracker. You know, Jimmy Tillin has come under a little bit of criticism this season, and probably towards the end of last season as well, when they were struggling quite a bit. But I feel like regardless of the run that Aberdeen are on, regardless of, you know, their form or whatever, it's always a difficult game going up there. You've always got to be your best, and I feel like they would probably think the same coming down Easter Road as well, that regardless of what form we were on or run we were on, you know, if we were playing poorly or not had a win in a wee while, they would still feel like it's a big game and they would need to be at their best to beat us at home. So I don't think for a second that just because they've been poor this season, any of the players or the manager will think that, you know, we'll turn up and we've got it in the bag, basically. Because you've seen that they've maybe started to turn a little bit of a corner the last couple of games. So hopefully we can go up there and get the victory. But are you is this one that you're looking at with a little bit of, I'm not sure?
I think in years gone by, yeah, I would probably look at it like that. But I've watched a fair bit of Aberdeen this season. They've done really well in the European game, to be fair. Considering that could have easily been an absolute pumping from Shakhtar. Probably should have been a pumping as well, considering the chances that they had. But it's strange because I've watched a fair bit of Hearts this season, and I've watched a fair bit of Aberdeen, and I don't feel like at times either of them have performed that well. Aberdeen have been a wee bit worse, and definitely on the goal front, hence why they're in the position that they're in. But from a performance perspective, I don't think that there's been that much between them, and yet you look at the positions where they are in the league, especially prior to the weekend's results. So hopefully it doesn't click for Aberdeen. Hopefully it continues to be an absolute misery for Jimmy Tillin. But they've got too much quality in that squad for it not to click. I just hope that it's maybe next weekend and not this weekend.
It's kind of got shades of us last season, doesn't it? You can see the quality in the squad. You know that there's good players there. It's only going to be a matter of time before it does click for them, because they've added a lot of quality. You look at the boy Lazetic that they signed. I think they got him from AC Milan. Jesper Karlsson, I think, who's coming on loan, looks like a really, really good addition. They've got an awful lot of Scandi boys that they've brought in. Obviously, Jimmy Talline knows an awful lot about, and Nisbet come back. They've got a real good nucleus of a good team there, and I think it probably will just be a matter of time before it does click for them.
Yeah, they definitely have enough quality. I just think that the level of performances that they've been putting in as a squad, and whether that's down to them not being able to gel yet or not understanding each other's games, I'm unsure, or maybe they're just not quite grasping what Jimmy Talline's asking them to do. Listen, we'll still need to put in a very, very good performance, and it'll need to be a better performance than it was in the derby, and it'll still need to be a better performance than it was against Livingston. But I think if we perform to an adequate enough level, I still think we'll be able to get a positive result.
Well, I hope so. I mean, it's kind of all lining up to look like a bit of a cracker because, Hibs coming off the back of a 4-0 victory against Livingston at home. Aberdeen, like we mentioned, 2 wins out of their last 2 games, so it's got 0-0 written all over it. But I feel like it's a real good chance for us to kick on. We've got Aberdeen on Sunday, and then our games until the end of November are Rangers at home, Livi away, St Mirren at home, Dundee at home, Motherwell away, Celtic away. So you look at that run of games and you think there's a good chance for us to put a few good results together and hopefully build up a little bit of momentum by the time we go and play Celtic at Parkhead. And hopefully we can go out and get a good result there. I mean, it's all if, buts and maybes, and there's no point in talking about games that are, a month and a bit away. But I just feel that it's a real good opportunity now for us to kick on, get some points on the board, and try and kind of claw back a little bit of the gap that's been sort of stretched by the 2 teams at the top of the table, and put a little bit of distance between us and Rangers because they're slowly starting to creep back up into it again. But I feel like we'll have this same conversation every single season about this kind of mid-October to November nice run of games before we get into the tough December fixtures. Do you think that it's possible that we can, I don't know, I don't want to say be comfortable in third because you never know what's going to happen with Hearts and Rangers before then, but I mean, surely we need to be expecting maximum points from a lot of those games. Especially the home games. St Mirren and Dundee at home. Livingston away should probably take care of itself. Motherwell away might be a little bit more difficult, and then Celtic away and Rangers at home are free hits.
St Mirren's away, though, no, not home.
Oh, but aye, that will be away. Aye, you're right. I've written it down wrong here.
I actually still think that we're in a tough run of fixtures, to be honest, and I don't really see at any point it letting up because I think at the minute the league's very tough and it's very tight. Aberdeen away is tough, Rangers at home, regardless of what's going on there. Now that they've got their 5th choice manager in,
that's so funny. Mate.
He'll be up and running, and then regardless of the fact that we've already beat Livi away, you just saw how tough it was for Hearts earlier on in the season and how tough it was for us when we played them away. So that'll still be tough regardless of whether we've just battered them or not. St Mirren away, obviously never a great place to go, and yes, Dundee at home should obviously be 3 points, but they're obviously putting in a better level of performance now. And then you've got Motherwell away, Celtic, and then next thing you know, you're playing Falkirk and Rangers and Hearts in that again. So yeah, I don't. Normally, it's quite evident that we've got an easy-ish or an easier run of fixtures, as it was 5 or 6 weeks ago when I was sitting saying this is a very tough run of fixtures that we have upcoming. I think this is a mixture of both, and I think.
Do you think it's a good test to kind of benchmark where we're at?
Yeah, I think it'll be good to see where we're at going into December. Because of the sides that we're playing, and it'll also be a good indicator of where everyone else is in the league based on the fixtures that we've got upcoming as well, especially considering going to like St Mirren away and stuff like that as well, and playing Rangers at home.
Completely agree. Happy days. I think you've got a quiz for me, Shaun, there.
Yeah, I've actually got two.
Oh, yes, get in there.
Attention all
I
round.
love quizzes so much.
Yeah, I actually have two for you. Now, I just want to
Don't go
state
anywhere
at
because
this
it's
moment
ramble
in
is time.
all the data located has been found on Transfer Market. So if any of it is incorrect, take it up with
Well,
them.
that's usually where I get my stats from. So
we have two Tenables.
oh yes, I
today.
love Tenable, man.
Yeah.
I was actually watching Tenable yesterday. You know.
What I'll do is I'll give you 3 lives and also
Okay.
3 clues. So you need to indicate whether you're using a clue. Well, a life would be obviously if you get one wrong, but you need to indicate whether you're locking an answer in or not, or if you want a clue. So there's 2 questions. There's 2 Tenable questions. And I'm going to ease you in with the first one. And the first one is the top 10 appearances at Hibs in the current squad.
Oh, fucking hell, Shaun. Right, I'm going to write it down.
Yeah.
Top
so
10.
The top 10 most Hibs appearances made that currently play in the current squad.
Right, Martin Boyle has surely got to be number 1.
Yep, number 1.
Chris Cadden's probably got to be up there.
Chris Cadden's number 4.
Right. Joe Newell.
Joe Newell is number 2.
We're absolutely cooking with gas here. Right, Joe Newell, Chris Cadden, Martin Boyle. Josh Campbell.
Josh Campbell is number 3, so you've got the top 4.
Right, okay. Ellie Yuan.
Yep, Ellie Yuan is 7th / joint 6th.
Right, okay. Rocky Bashiri.
Is 5th, that's correct.
I'm absolutely cooking here, man.
So you've got 6, 8, 9 and 10.
6, 8, 9 and 10. Okay.
Remember, you have 3 lifelines and 3 clues.
Did I get 3 clues on both questions?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Because
cool.
the second question's a wee bit more tougher, so you might want to use your clues for that.
Right.
But you can't. Clues are not transferable, so you can't get 6 clues on the second.
Okay. Right, I'm trying to think of players. Dylan Levitt, maybe one of them.
He's 8th.
Current players. I'm struggling here. Jordan Abita.
Yep, he's joint 6th with Ellie Yuan, both on 102.
102? Wow. So just 9 and 10.
Yep.
So I would imagine that they joined after Dylan Levitt.
Okay.
Can I use a clue? Did they join after Dylan Levitt?
Yes.
Right. So that's after the Montgomery season. Jordan Smith.
1 life gone.
Oh, fuck. Right, so it's not any of the goalies. I doubt it's going to be Jack Iredale or Warren O'Hora. Is it Jack Iredale and Warren O'Hora?
Yes.
Is it both of them?
I couldn't see my straight face. I was my straight face when you said Jack Iredale, but then when you said Warren O'Hora, I was like, fucking hell. Yeah, that's correct. It's both of them.
Oh, brilliant. Quite happy with that, you know. Absolutely burned through that one.
Where were you going to go? Since you thought it wasn't them.
I don't know. I really don't. Because then I thought about it and I was like, well, it only really can be them if it's not Smith. Like,
Right.
It can't be Triantis or Kukarevich or nothing. So,
Well, yeah, because
they're not at the club.
Right. The next Tenable is the top 10 Hibs appearance makers for those who are still playing but not currently at the club. So these are the top 10 players who are still currently active,
but not
currently
playing for Hibs.
but not playing for Hibs, but have had the top 10 most appearances for Hibs out of those individuals.
Right, okay.
Yeah?
So we're only counting their appearances for Hibs.
Only counting their appearances
So
for Hibs.
Lewis Stevenson,
Correct.
number 1.
Yes.
Paul Hanlon.
Correct. There you go. So you're getting the gist of the game.
Stevenson and Hanlon, 1 and 2.
Yep.
Right, this is going to be a little bit more tough, I think.
Now, I will just preview this. I've put 2 names next to number 8 and I've put 2 names next to number 9, and I'll explain why at the end.
Okay.
So you technically have 12 to choose from.
And they need to be still active.
They're still active players. And
Right.
have the most Hibs appearances.
I'm assuming that none of them are going to be anywhere near Boyle and not Boyle and Newell, Stevenson and Hanlon in terms of numbers.
For Hibs, no.
Yeah. David Waterspoon, is he on there?
That is a great shout from you. Fantastic shout.
Is he on there?
He is on there. Yeah, he's number 4.
Get in there. Because he's at like Inverness or something now, eh?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Right. Let's have a think. Stevie Mallon?
He is 10th on the list, but technically would maybe be 12 depending on your number 8 or number 9 and how you look at this. But I've got him 10th.
Can I notch him down for 10th then?
Yeah.
Okay, Stevie Mallon. Now, does it need to be professional or can it be like non-league?
Why did you ask that question?
Because I'm thinking Effie Ambrose and I don't know where he plays at the moment.
All right, no, Effie Ambrose doesn't show up on the list.
Bastard.
That's one. He might still be playing at a reasonable enough level, but he's not on the list for the Hibs appearance.
This is a tough one, Shaun. This is a very tough one.
So you've still got your 3 clues.
Lee Griffiths?
No, he's further down the list, but no, he doesn't make the top 10.
Bastard.
So you've got 1 life left.
Right, I'm going to need to use a clue.
Cool. Right, so do you want just 1 clue at the minute?
Just 1 at the minute.
Right, okay, let me try and think of one that'll help you get multiple players then. So you have number 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 left.
Yep.
Yeah. Excluding one of these players, all those players mentioned have played for Hibs since 2020.
Christian Deutsch?
Let's go 2018 or 19 actually. The 18-19 season. Christian Deutsch is one of them. He's 7th.
Come on.
So there's your first clue.
They've all played since the
Clues will narrow it down further.
2018-19 season. See, Daryl Horgan's jumping out at me, but I don't think that he played more games than Stevie Mallon. So I'm not going to say him for now.
Okay.
Try to go by your face and see.
I'm actually just laughing for the sake of laughing.
Right, okay. Let me think. Maybe a goalie in there? Offer Marciano?
You've got Lewis Stevenson, you've got Paul Hanlon, you've got David Witherspoon, and you've got Christian Deutsch and Stevie Mallon, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Who did you say?
I said Marciano.
You had 1 life left. And you still have 1 life left, because that's correct.
Yes!
He's 5th on the list. Still playing.
5th? Where does he play now? Somewhere in Israel?
Somewhere in a country that we will not discuss.
Oh, fair enough.
That's a complete guess.
6. So I've got 3, 6, 8 and 9 to get.
Yep.
Now.
Hapoel Beersheba.
Do we have... Can I have another clue?
Yep, you can have another clue. What clue am I going to give you?
Well, I think I maybe know one of them. Before I get a clue. I'm going
to... What numbers have you got left? You've got 3 left.
3, 6, 8 and 9.
3, 6, 8 and 9. Those that are at 3, 8 and 9 have all pulled on the Scotland jersey.
Right, so 6 I think is Lewis Miller.
Okay, that's incorrect.
Fuck's sake.
That's incorrect, and that is all your life's gone. And I gave you a clue, which was those players have pulled on the Scotland jersey, and you still decided to go with Lewis Miller, who's pulled on the Australian jersey.
Yeah, but you said that 3, 8 and 9.
Yeah.
And I still had 6 available.
You still have 6 available, yeah, but I was thinking you would have went with one of the players for the clue that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Right.
true, but I just don't know.
Do you want to hear who the players are?
Oh, no, John McGinn. John McGinn surely got to be one of them.
Too late now, you've used all your life.
No.
Yeah.
No. The next one I get wrong, then you tell me. I've used all my lives, but
No,
I still
your
get to
last
do.
life is...
I still get to guess. John McGinn.
John McGinn is 8th.
John McGinn. You're tripping me up with the active bit, Shaun. You're tripping me up. Right, I give up.
Right, so number 3 on the list. Famously never won an Edinburgh Derby.
Craig
Ryan
Levine.
Porteous.
Oh.
Never played in a winning Edinburgh Derby side, should I say. Yeah, Ryan Porteous, number 3. So my clue for him would have obviously been recently
Forgot about him.
to LA. Number 6 on the list, my clue for him in particular would have been he's currently playing with another former high B, winning titles in South Asia.
Oh, Cummins, obviously. Oh.
You obviously got John McGinn, but on a technicality, John McGinn should be 9th, and that's because we had a certain individual on this podcast recently.
I was thinking about McGeoch.
Well, I actually have Ivan Sproul down. Ivan Sproul is still technically down as an active player, and he's still technically playing. That's why it's a technicality. But yes, still McGeoch is also on that list as well.
See, I was wondering, because I was thinking, I was trying to weigh it up in my head. Did he play more games than Stevie Mallon? Because obviously he had so many injuries.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think so.
Is you mentioned him already on the podcast, Kevin Nisbet.
See, when you started reading the question out, I went, Kevin Nisbet surely got to be one of them. And I just forgot.
So that is the top 10 Hibs appearances.
That was good.
Squad, and those that are...
I enjoyed that one.
If you enjoyed that one, you can just get the little tenable triangle and put it in the middle of the screen.
Well, maybe I will. All right, maybe I will.
Maybe you will.
Will we wrap up with some listener questions, Shaun?
Now it's time to enter the Hibs Ramble listener questions.
Okay, first off, as always, John McIntosh. It's been a while. What's for dinner? Prawn linguine.
I have no idea.
Prawn and chorizo, tagliatelle with a creamy sauce.
But no HelloFresh at the moment.
Eh?
So I don't know what I'm having.
You're off the HelloFresh?
Nah, I've not got it at the minute.
Oh. How?
They're not hitting me up. They're not hitting me up with their discounts, so they're not getting used.
Maybe they should sponsor the pod.
They absolutely should.
HelloFresh, if you're listening, got a real good sponsorship opportunity for you here. Shaun talks about you all the time. You get free advertising on this podcast.
Every week.
So you don't know what's for your dinner?
Not yet.
We just got a shopping in yesterday, so it could be a multitude of different things for dinner tonight. I think I saw burgers in the fridge. I think there's stuff for spag bol.
Oh.
There's stuff for... I think there's pizzas in the fridge, obviously. I think there's stuff for like chicken wraps.
Oh.
Stuff like that. So I'm not too sure what it is yet, but I know for one thing, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be super good. Gav Dick says, really needed that result today. Klidge showed why we paid 1 million plus for him. Superb performance. Yeah, I think Gav raises an excellent point there, Shaun, in terms of Klidge's price tag. I think that... Do you think that David Gray's done the right thing by trying to bed him in and maybe not relying on him too heavily so that we're not saying, oh, well, he's a £1 million player, so he should be amazing and hit the ground running? Because obviously he came from a team in Switzerland, has no experience of the Scottish game. I'm not too sure what his proficiency is in speaking English. Obviously, it's going to be more difficult for him to understand us anyway. But do you think maybe David Gray's done the right thing? This is kind of piggyback on Gav's question here. Do you think David Gray's then done the right thing by kind of not limiting his minutes, but maybe managing him a little bit so far?
I think only time will tell, to be honest. I think at the minute, or at the time when he came in, we were fortunate enough where Kieran Bowie and Martin Boyle were putting in good performances and both either contributing or assisting or scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So it probably made his decision easier in not having to put him in the firing line and then obviously bring him on here and there. His lacking minutes at times has surprised me. But when he has played, he's looked quite good. So, yeah, time will tell, and hopefully it's in a positive way.
Spot asks, has Klidge now earned the right to start going forward?
I think if you score in a winning side and you perform well, I don't see why you should
be dropped,
in my opinion. What David Gray thinks of that is a different kettle of fish.
Suppose time will tell. We'll see on Sunday. Grey ball enthusiast. Should Chris Cadden be starting every week? Kind of again, Shaun, a little bit of what we were talking about earlier on in terms of, is there anyone else really to
challenge him?
Yeah, exactly. Which I don't think there is, and I think that he's still good enough. He's still more than good enough, I think, to hold up that starting place every week.
Yeah, like I said, he's a good player. He does bring a bit of flexibility to our starting 11 as well, and obviously he has that engine going up and down as well. So yeah, I don't, unless you're replacing him with someone that's better, I wouldn't really see the point at this moment in time in trying to take him out of the squad.
Yeah. Colin McLennan asks, has David Gray seen the light? Can we now see another long unbeaten run, and will Hearts win the league?
I
don't understand what he means by has he seen the light? Has he turned to Christianity? Has he now turned religious?
I will convincingly confirm that neither of those things will happen. We will not go on another long unbeaten run. And in case people need a gentle reminder, we're 8 games into the season. Hearts will not be winning the league.
I hope not. See if they did, mate, imagine. I don't think I would watch football again.
It's 8 games, Aberdeen were further ahead after a longer period of time, albeit Celtic were in a better position than they are now. Listen, I don't think Celtic will win at Tynecastle. I think it'll be a draw. I don't think Hearts will. I don't think Celtic will lose when they go to Tynecastle. But let's just calm your fucking bosses. We're 8 games into the season. There's another 30 games to go.
I know, but I'm panicking.
So,
I don't want them to win the league, Shaun. I don't want them to do it.
You're just begging to be snipped.
I know, well, they can clip this, and Hibs fans can clip it after we rinse them at Easter Road in the next derby. Simple as that. And finally, to wrap us up, Billy asks, do you think, as podcasters, you're allowed to criticise David Martindale?
I think the only logical thing to do is to get in contact with Livingston and ask them directly.
We should. You know what we should do? We should get in contact with Livingston and ask them what their goalie does for a living.
Because it's not football.
It's not playing football. He's very good at picking the ball out the back of the net.
Just try and get Davey on the pod. See what he's saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Choose podcasting over Livy. That's what I say. It seems like a good place to wrap up there, Shaun.
It does.
You enjoyed your time back on the ramble this afternoon?
I only enjoy it when we're winning.
And we have won. So
there you go. There's
the streak has started. 1 game unbeaten. Come on. Happy days.
We can twist it. We're still unbeaten in so many games at home. So you can...
No, actually, I was thinking about that the other day. It was maybe yesterday I was thinking about it. Was the last time we got beat at home, that was St Mirren, right? St Mirren were the last, like domestically obviously, because we got beat against Legia and Midtjylland and Partizan Belgrade. But domestically, we've only been beaten by St Mirren at home. But that was the last time we were beat.
Sorry, I'm just fact checking that for you.
Which I think it can be a kick in the arse off of a full calendar year. Which is pretty impressive, if true.
I've got St Johnstone here. Yeah, I've got St Johnstone and Rangers at the end of 2024.
Aye? I thought it was...
Yeah.
No, that can't be right.
What St Mirren game are you talking about? The 3-0?
No, 2-1. Nicky Cadden scored a penalty.
Let's have a look.
Rangers never beat us at home.
At the end of 2024?
Aye.
They did. I'm looking at it right now.
Did they? No, because that was part of our run, was it not? Like through December and then through to like March.
Yeah, I've not seen a St Mirren defeat after. Yeah, you're going to have to.
Well, let's ask ChatGPT.
Let's not.
Let's ask ChatGPT. Right?
Let's not.
Hi, ChatGPT. When was the last time Hibs got beat domestically at Easter Road?
Nonsense. What is
the last time Hibs were beaten at Easter Road in a domestic match was on the 4th of October, 2025, when they lost the Heart of Midlothian.
Aye, good one. Told you.
Yeah, you are. You're hopeless. See you later.
I'm sorry if I didn't meet your expectations this time. If there's anything I can do to help or improve, just let me know. Take care.
Well, that was hopeless, and I feel like it's a real good point to end. You can tell us in the comments when the last time we got beat at home. I think it was against St Mirren. We got beat 2-1. Nicky Cadden scored a penalty and then had a goal chopped off like right at the end. I'm sure.
Well, one of us will be right and one of us will be wrong. And
Truth.
regardless of who it is, I don't really care.
Right, okay then. Well, if you've got this far, thank you so much for listening. It's been a pleasure to be back in your ear holes this week, especially after a Hibs win. Shaun, thank you for joining me. If you don't already, get us on our social medias. We are at the Hibs Ramble on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc. And that is all from us until after the Aberdeen game. So we'll be back again to chat to you next week. See you later.
Let's get ready to rumble.